Greetings, music geeks, audiophiles, and juggalos. My name is Jimmy, and you are listening to the Weekly Waltz, episode 8. This week we've got an episode planned out for you guys that I'm really excited about, and as always we've got 5 new songs that we'll be listening to and discussing, as well as talking about some industry topics, giving my co-host here an interview, who I will introduce in a minute, and playing a game here towards the end of the show, so I'm absolutely excited. Music-wise, we are going to hear from Adam Ben Ezra first, who is an acoustic double bassist who plays a lot of worldy, jazz-influenced, just kind of overall nice-sounding music, and a very talented gentleman at that. Second, today we're going to be playing a new single from the New York singer Giselle and Mike Martinez, who recently came out with a pop song called Just Try. And as our hump song today, number 3, we're going to hear from Aurora L'Orealis. And they are a Chicago-based band whose sound is just a gigantic mess of different stuff. Very Fugazi, like, just, you don't even know what's hitting you kind of stuff. I think you'll enjoy it. And after that, we're going to listen to a song from Minneapolis rap group Catalyst called Higher Place. And last but certainly not least, we're going to move in and hear from a Mexico City music producer who calls himself Sergeant J. He recently released an album called Lotus, and I'd describe his sound as kind of like a trip hop with very heavy jazz influence in there as well. All these guys we're playing today are super great, so I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to play them all for you guys today. And just before we move on, I did want to take a little bit of time to give you listeners at home a little bit of an update on the future of the show and what my plans are in the next upcoming weeks. Well, as some of you may know, along with doing the podcast, I'm also a full-time music production student, and I started the podcast up in late July of this year with every inch of excitement in me to chock these episodes full of 5 songs every single week for all you guys at home, and I'm happy to provide exactly that whenever I am able to get the chance to. But this week, school time has sprung upon us once again, which means that there is a great potential in the next coming weeks or months that many of the episodes will most likely be cut down in time. For the past 8 episodes I've had up, I always tried to put out every episode right around an hour long, 40 minutes, maybe a little over an hour. But now that school is in full swing, you can probably expect, at least for the time being, any future episodes to be right around a half hour. And because of this, for episodes, I'm thinking that either one of 2 things. I'll either cut into discussion and interview time with guests, or maybe cut down a little bit of the music I play each week from 5 songs to like 4 or 3, maybe a little combination of the 2, I don't know. And that all really depends on what I'm seeing people want more of. So if you have any suggestions on either one, or like tell me, if you want to hear more music, or if you want to hear more interview stuff, or you want to hear something that you've never heard before, send me an email at theweeklywaltz@gmail.com with all your questions, comments, concerns, and otherwise. Or at our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/theweeklywaltz. And just as a warning, this could also potentially mean that in the future there may be a couple weeks that I run into, this is only perhaps, that I might get just way too swamped with schoolwork or otherwise, unforeseen circumstances, and I may have to miss a week. So I apologize in advance if that does happen, but I promise I will try my best to avoid that wherever possible. But school is school. It is what it is. You gotta do it.
It is what it is, Jimmy.
It is what it is. So, sorry about that little rant there. Hi there, co-host.
Hey there, host.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. What is your name and your profession in the music industry?
My name is Nathan Lundstrom. I do a bunch of production. I do a lot of live performances as well, and I currently work at a retail music store.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. What kind of projects have you been doing recently?
I've done a lot of contemporary Christian stuff. I do some church gigs. The environment's really nice. There's a lot of good people and a lot of good musicians in there. I like doing just music in general, so anything that comes my way, I kind of take it.
For sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, finally, what's your favorite color?
That's probably the hardest question you could ask me.
I know. That's why I ask it.
And you think I'm kidding. I'm serious. That's tough.
Yep.
I really like red, but over the years I found that red is really kind of generic.
Yeah.
I kind of like green.
Green?
Yep, a nice like
I think
dark.
that's like one of the more popular colors that I get from co-hosts on the show here. I think first up we're going to hear from an artist all the way from Israel.
Israel.
His name is Adam Ben Ezra, and he plays the acoustic double bass. His manager actually sent me quite a few songs of his, most of which were only pieces of his bass playing, which I like the sound of a lot, but this one stood out to me more than most of the other ones. And not only because there's more of an instrumental variety in it, and more of like kind of a production thing, but even just like the chord structures in it are really melodic, and you know, just the overall sounds of it I think it's a pretty cool piece. It drew me in a lot. So why don't we lend an ear on over to Adam Ben Ezra and his song Openland. All right, well, once again, coming back here, that was Adam Ben Ezra, and he is an acoustic double bass player. Well, he just released a solo album recently on Bandcamp and kind of all over the place, actually, called Adam Ben Ezra. Just the, same name as the artist, self-named.
I really liked that piece.
Yeah, I did too.
That was a brilliant piece.
Yeah.
I liked really in the intro, right away, when it was just a solo piano, you could hear the click of the sustain pedal.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Kind of added like another like depth of like space. You could hear like almost how it would sound in the room.
You know what? I don't think that was the sustain pedal. I think that was him on his double bass. I think
Really?
those were clicks of the string. And I think I made a note here that I think that it was nice because in all of his other songs, I know you haven't heard these other songs, but in all the other ones, it's literally just his acoustic bass, and like he kind of plays around with it a little bit, where he includes the body of the bass and like little percussive hits with like slapping it with his thumb and doing the strings. But I think those little clicks in the beginning, I think those could easily be mistaken as something else. But
it's like a finger pluck.
It sounds like just like a little click of the the string or whatever that's going on there.
Yeah,
just hitting the wood or something.
He would have been playing quieter then, because when the rest of the band came in, it like opened up and you could feel his bass. Yeah,
absolutely.
That was cool too when that happened. When the band just came in, it was a little explosive.
Right. Yeah, and I like this song also compared to a lot of his other songs on his album. I chose this one more so because I think that this one stood out more as like more of a showcase of his songwriting talents and more of his just his talents, showing his talents other than in like just the performance aspect of bass. Yeah. Because he had all these other instruments, like I said, and the bass kind of felt a little bit more buried in the mix. So he kind of let all of these other aspects of his music shine, which I thought was really nice. Yeah. The percussive cymbal hits throughout it were really like syncopated to the beat. They added a really nice touch to the rhythm section, I thought. But I do wish that I could have heard like the ride cymbal that he was hitting like ring out a little bit more.
Okay, so it was a little less dry, a little more resonant.
I think that would have been really nice, but I mean,
I really like. There was a part I wrote down. It was somewhere around like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, where there was like this explosive cymbal build. Yeah. That was awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
That was closer to the cymbal sound that you were just talking about too, when you really just laid into it with the stick.
Yeah, I like that too.
That was great. Really it took me by surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I could definitely see this song in like the soundtrack of like a drama movie or something in the background of during like a time-lapse scene or something like that. It's like the kids are 2 years old, now they're grown up.
Yeah. I could see it in film too. My thought was like a Pixar short. Like I could see it in a short film.
I could see that too.
It's like just instead of having people talking.
Yeah. I could see. Yeah, definitely. It would definitely have to be during a scene that's like only music and picture. Yeah. I don't think that it would do very well. It's like something that like people are talking over. But I actually didn't think about that. That would really be cool. That's a nice other way of looking at it. But yeah, overall, good song. I liked it a lot.
That was great. It was written well. It flowed really well.
Absolutely.
The little percussion parts kind of tied everything together. Yeah. With the piano melody. And like definitely. You had said it was melodic, and it was very melodic. Yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Definitely. All right. Well, moving right along here, we're going to go into some music news, do a little bit of discussion about the news. We only have 2 pieces of news today.
Only 2?
Only 2, yeah, as opposed to 3, which I usually have. But actually, I mean, I tried to go on and like find some really like relevant music news, and I couldn't really find too much this week for some reason. Wow. Nothing's happening. Yeah. Nobody's dying.
Everyone's too busy working on music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guess it's the way it should be.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, first up, from what I do have, pop country legend Glenn Campbell is set to release the final song of his career, which is going to be entitled "I'm Not Gonna Miss You." And it was written specifically for the new movie that will be released documenting his life called Glenn Campbell, I'll Be Me. And the song was written to reflect the everyday struggle he has dealing with Alzheimer's disease, with which he was officially diagnosed in 2001. The song is set to be released along with the movie's soundtrack EP on September 30th. So he's, like I said at the beginning, he is like a pop country legend.
Legend is almost the only word that can describe him.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's really sad that like this is something that he was diagnosed with and that he's like been living with for the past several years, and like that he just always has in the back of his head. Like, I'm sure the amount of thinking that he's been having to do like throughout the past few years about like, okay, so when am I not going to be able to remember my own songs? When am I not going to be able to remember playing in front of like 30,000 people, Yeah. So, that's got to be a tough thing to do on your own. But I think that just the fact that he was able to get out this last song, put a polish over it, say this is the last thing you're going to hear from me. I think that's a really nice thing to do, and the fact that it's going along with the documentary, I think, is a nice little cherry on top of it.
Yeah, he definitely deserves the documentary.
Yeah.
He's been super influential to a lot of music history.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, not so much in new news. Rolling Stone recently sat down with Gerard Way at the end of August and interviewed him about his upcoming debut solo album entitled Hesitant Alien, which is due out on September 30th. And when he was asked about the new direction of his solo career and taking a much different path than that of the My Chemical Romance sound, he states that the main objective was to change the landscape of the music a bit, to reboot Britpop in America, is what he's quoting here. Mm-hmm. He released the first single from the album called No Shows, and when he was asked about the inspiration of the name Hesitant Alien for the album, he goes on to state that being in a really big machine band like My Chemical Romance, I was constantly rallying the outsiders, fighting to get noticed, and then I started to realize, you know what? You don't fit in. That's exactly how you fit in. You are actually a part of that machine. My whole trip through music, I always felt hesitant, and I always felt like an alien. I remember being on TRL, and we were wearing the full get-ups and the makeup. We looked like vampires, and I felt like a space alien.
Yeah, that for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, but I mean, just reading through this article, I heard. Have you heard the single from the album yet?
I haven't. I'm not a huge fan of My Chemical Romance.
Right.
I haven't followed them.
Right.
I like a lot of their stuff, but like I said, I was never exposed at the right time, so I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, well, this apparently, I mean, Gerard Way's this new solo career is completely different sound from My Chemical Romance.
That's awesome.
It's like he's
Good
going
for
completely
him.
Britpop. He's like going back to his roots, because what he said is like that apparently before starting My Chemical Romance, he was in like he was into like this whole Britpop scene and like, you know, all these British performers, you know, and I guess that what it was that kind of moved him over to doing the My Chemical Romance sound was just kind of the time it was and all this teenage angst and anguish and like all these people, you know, expressing their emotions in this way. He thought that it would be a good train to follow, and it obviously worked out for him. Yeah,
they have. Honestly, the songs that I like of theirs are phenomenal. It's like you can tell that they're all a bunch of talented dudes that know what they're doing musically.
Right.
So I'm glad he's able to still make his way in the music industry and do something that he wants to do. That's fantastic. I'll have to take a listen to that single later.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really good one. I listened to it like a few weeks ago, and I like it a lot. It's definitely a lot different than My Chemical Romance stuff, but I enjoy it.
Awesome. Good for him.
Yeah. All right, well, moving right along here, we're going to listen to our second song, it's actually a collaboration song from an East Coast singer who goes by the name of Giselle, and she paired up with Mike Martinez from St. Louis, Missouri, for this pop duet called Just Try. The song was released as a single on iTunes and kind of all over the place to listen to. I'll provide all those links at the end of the show where you can go and check out their music. So if you like it, please go and check it out. And buy it for $1 on iTunes.
Why not? It's music.
It's music, exactly. So here we go with Giselle and Mike Martinez with their pop song, Just Try.
Sometimes in life you wanna see, sometimes you don't know who to be. Sometimes you laugh and sometimes you cry. Sometimes you fail even though you try. I need to know just where I'm at. In life can be so hard, and we can get so far if we just try. If we just try.
Sometimes the life things aren't what they seem. Sometimes we lose all of our dreams. Sometimes we know just where we stand. Sometimes we don't know who we
just try, if we just try, if we just try. If life is so hard, then why do I try? I'm sitting here pretending like everything's alright.
I never need to know what's gonna be next, and I don't have to sit here waiting for that text.
I'm falling, falling, falling for you. And I know
This couldn't be more true.
in life can be so hard, and we can get so far if we just try, if we just try. Oh, if we just try, if we just try. Oh, if we just try.
All right, well, once again, that was Just Try from Giselle and Mike Martinez. That was a nice little duet. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was really poppy. That
Yeah.
was good.
That was really
good.
nice. Yeah, first off, I think overall, I mean, really nice songwriting. I
Yeah.
think that, you could definitely tell, you could determine all the different breaks in the song.
Mm-hmm.
The verse was definitely a verse, the chorus was definitely a chorus, and the chorus was really catchy.
Mhm.
The lyrics in there really drew you in. I mean,
At the end of that chorus too,
Mhm.
the payoff line, if we just try, titling the way they put that in the song, that was good.
exactly.
That
Yeah, very
made it
smart of
very
them.
memorable.
Definitely. Yeah, just a catchy chorus overall too. Just, I mean, music-wise, it drew me in.
Mm-hmm.
And the bridge caught me off guard. I didn't think it was gonna go in that direction, but I mean, it surprised me, but in a very good way.
Yeah, almost
It
like
was
the
like-
semi-rap at the beginning
Yep.
that he did. That was
Yeah.
cool.
I think that production-wise, I wish I could have heard a little bit more low end.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that it would have made a little bit more of a nice backbone. I think that that it had a nice little foundation down at the bottom there,
Mhm.
in the low end, but I think that with a little bit extra of a boost, I think it would have like rounded it out a lot more, and I think it would have just had a nice big overall,
Like a fatness.
exactly.
I don't know. I thought towards the beginning there was that it was like a kick drum or some kind of drum that happened on the backbeat that had that deep low end presence.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I liked that a lot.
Mhm.
I thought the low end was satisfactory there, and when the kick drum came in with the full band, and I thought that was okay. I could see how it could use just more low end in general,
Mhm.
just a smidgen,
Yeah.
a wee bit.
Yeah, no,
tad.
exactly. Yeah, I think in a case like this, with a song like this, a little bit can go a long way.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Last but not least, I also just said I like how they incorporated the acoustic guitar sounds as part of like a rhythm section.
Yeah.
Type sound, kind of like a little percussive with the string hits and stuff and things like
Yeah.
that.
Speaking of guitar sounds in general, those like reverse guitars,
Oh yeah.
those were tasty.
at the beginning, those were really cool.
Yeah.
with the little. Yep.
And then all the clean tones that he did
Mhm.
with the electric guitars.
Yep.
All that reverb.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Oh, man.
Interview portion.
This is where we get deep, guys.
This is where we get deep.
Mhm.
All right. So your name is Nathan Lundstrom. Is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes I go by Thomas Kingsley.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, today, Nathan Lundstrom is your preferred, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's good. So you go to school with me here at McNally Smith College of Music.
I do.
So you are a production student.
Yep.
And how long have you been into, just producing music, doing audio engineering?
My music, quote, career
Mm-hmm.
goes all the way back to when I was 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
I started playing music in church, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I started in band in high school and kept playing saxophone. And later on in high school is when I first met my dad, which was awesome because he does live sound for a living. And he's done a bunch of studio work, Latin jazz down in L.A.
Oh, for sure.
He's done some really cool stuff.
That is awesome.
Yeah, really awesome musicians, awesome players.
For sure.
And so he got me hooked on kind of the recording part. And I think it was better that I met him later because then I almost didn't grow up with the music side that he could offer me, and I didn't take it for granted when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I could kind of benefit from him more, what he could teach me. And I never thought I'd get super big into recording because I was playing so much, playing saxophone, playing guitar, playing at churches. And then my dad came around and I got to know him really well. Right. And we just started talking about recording, and it just started something. It started there. Yeah. And now I'm at McNally Smith. It's my third year at McNally Smith, and I'm loving it.
So as far as projects you've worked on, I know you've worked with the Christian pop artist Lauren Becker.
Yeah. Yep. Her and I decided last year that we were kind of joking about it, actually. We were going to do an album together. Okay. And we sat down and we wrote a song, and we decided that we should really do it. Yeah. And so it worked out awesome.
Yeah. What was the album called?
It's called Total Abandonment. Okay. She's a great songwriter. She knows when to bend the rules, and she knows how to put the pieces together. Yeah. So that even though rules are being bent and the pieces shouldn't fit, they're still together there. Yeah. It was great working with her. One of my favorite songs off the album, I have two. I really like the title song, Total Abandonment, and a song, Take Me to the Water. Okay. I was able to play drums on that song. In fact, I played drums on every song. But it was great. That song, I was able to do a lot of tom work. I like playing on the toms. That was fun. We had a friend in engineering, and he helped make the drums sound great for a few of the songs.
Awesome. Yeah, so you, so along with Lauren and along with some, stuff with your church, do you have any other projects that you've done in the past or you're working on currently?
In the past, before I moved to St. Paul, back at home, I worked with some singer-songwriters, recorded them a lot. I have a lot of experience doing vocal and guitar at the same time. Right. So I've gotten pretty decent at that. Just being able to capture every nuance from the instrument and the vocal. Yeah. That's been really beneficial to me. Yeah. So I like doing a lot of singer-songwriter stuff, as well as I've worked with a guy. His name is Jonathan Young.
We've played Jonathan Young.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, we all know him. Johnny,
Mr. Freedom himself. He's fantastic to work with. He knows what he's doing musically. He knows what he wants out of his product. Yep. So it was great to work with him. I got to drum on one of his songs on his debut album. Yep. And
I know he's been putting out some YouTube videos as well, and you have a couple cameos in his music videos as well, don't you?
I do, actually. I have a couple cameos, and then I worked on one cover with him. We mashed up Def Leppard's Pour Some Sugar on Me.
That's right. I remember that one.
One Direction's Midnight Memories. Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was a lot of fun. That's for sure.
The video is pretty hilarious too. If you guys haven't seen the video, I don't want to put any spoilers out there, but it's let's just say they take the song quite literally.
Quite literally.
Yep.
Not the Midnight Memories song.
No.
But we'll just
the other one that he just said.
You have to now rewind to find out if you forgot.
All right. So as far as post college and stuff, what are your plans? What's the dream?
The dream is to work in a recording studio. Okay. Doing music, recording bands. I mean, you know how it is.
Right.
We want to make music for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fight for that.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. But I also have to be realistic and understand that if I get that, I may not get it right away. So I'm okay. I love playing at churches. It's a great environment.
Yeah.
A great place to keep your chops up if you like playing that kind of music. I work at a retail music store right now. I get to see some awesome gear come in. Get to try it all out. I get awesome benefits from working there,
Yeah.
as retail workers know.
Discounts and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could totally see myself after college maybe keeping that retail job for a while, just to kind of help make ends meet, and doing music on the side, trying to put as much energy into that as I can,
For sure.
so I can boost my music career in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm okay with going corporate too.
Yeah.
If I had to do like sound
absolutely.
design, I know Garmin, the GPS company, they have sound designers that work in-house, and then they hire them out too, and
Yeah.
so I'd be totally okay with doing something like that too.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thanks for taking a couple minutes to chat with me a little bit.
Jimmy?
Get people a little bit knowing about your background and where you're coming from, where you're going.
You're very welcome, Jimmy. I appreciate being here.
For sure. All right. Well, why don't we move into our third song? Here's some more tunes.
I'm okay with that.
All right. Sweet. Well, third up, we're going to hear from Aurora L'Orealis.
That's a great name.
I know. They're a Chicago group, and they have kind of like a really Fugazi influenced sound, just
Mhm.
a giant, like, production-wise, it's just 1,000 instruments being thrown at your face with like fuzz guitars, and like
Yeah.
it's awesome. I love it a lot.
Awesome.
Their new song "Waste" was released on August 31st. So it'll be part of an EP that's coming out in the future from them in fall of 2014. So and it's all recorded, mixed, and mastered in like a home studio setup in the Chicago suburbs. So
Awesome.
yeah, I like the sound a lot. I guess I can let you guys make all your own decisions, but we're up to our hump song today.
Our
on
hump
episode 8.
song.
Hump song. All right, here we go with Aurora L'Orealis and Waste.
Waste
Man, I feel like I need to take a freaking shower after that song. That was dirty.
That was filthy, disgusting. Oh,
but it was amazing.
That was awesome.
That's probably up there with a lot of the songs that I played on this podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, just production-wise, really nice and raw, filthy recording.
Yeah.
And which I think it was a perfect song for that kind of a sound. I mean, it had a really nice, like, Kevin Shields, My Bloody Valentine type of production on it.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was everything about every instrument was just fat and thick and just like raw and grimy.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was really sweet. Let's take a moment of silence for the reverb time on that snare.
That was intense.
That was pretty crazy. It was like wet as shit, but just awesome.
It was like, are we actually taking a moment of silence?
Yeah, let's moment of silence for that reverb time.
Okay. That was wow.
That was pretty fucking awesome.
It was amazing.
Let's see. I don't even know where else to go. I mean, just overall, like the guitar fuzz. Like there's got to be like I wish I had asked him how many guitars he actually used to record this song.
It sounds
how many
massive.
like guitar? Yeah, it sounds gigantic. And I know. I mean, I talked to him briefly about the production of it, and the producer was Patrick Dunn and Tony Foley, who were both in the band.
Yeah.
But he was telling me that just the guitars overall, pretty much every single one of them had like some sort of a fuzz effect on it.
Yeah.
And he sent it through like maybe 2 or 3 different types of fuzz processors, either like pedals or outboard stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that the end result was like it had like a really like nice and round, like kind of like a big muff sound.
Yeah.
Everything instrument wise, it was all like flatline. Like everything was at like the same level, which was really sweet.
Everything, the fuzz had a lot to do with what I'm thinking, how everything sounded so just compressed and huge, and fuzz does that to guitars. It limits them really hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything, the guitar sounded massive, the snare drum sounded massive.
Yep.
The cymbals, everything, and there was some like vocals in the background, or was that just like guitar?
I think there were some vocal like little splurges here and there. It was kind of like a scream, but kind of like a, I don't know, I couldn't really describe it, but I know towards the end there was like a little section of the vocal area, and there were like some harmonies that surrounded it. The harmonies were really nice. They weren't like overpowering the actual vocal. Really arranged and placed nicely along, really, really musical song. Very like, I wouldn't even think of something like that.
Even just how like primal and raw it was. It was still musical.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Absolutely. And like, also I wanted to mention how at the very last, I wasn't even going to put this on there, but then right when we were like, when the song was fading out and like everything was, going to the back, the last thing you hear is like a little feedback guitar tone in the left side of in the left side of the stereo spectrum, and you're like, wow. That's like, I mean, but when you think that's like the perfect way to end a song like this.
It's just let it go.
Just kind of, yep. And I mean, not only that, but that like 30-second portion in the middle where it's just like that guitar just kind of.
Jimmy, that's a fantastic impersonation.
Thank you. Thank you. I trained all week for this.
I believe it.
Yep.
You came prepared.
All right, moving right along here. We're gonna go into another tune. It's going to be tune number 4, and then between that time and tune number 5, normally what some of you guys are used to is that we'll have our game right before the very last song. But this time it's going to be a little bit different because our game this week involves the music that we've heard.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. Get ready, you guys. We got a new game coming up this week.
That was a really bad intimidating.
It's okay. It's all right. You gotta have some more low end on there.
That was pretty good. I mean, for a first try.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll rehearse it for next time.
All right. Yeah, we'll work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we're going to listen to Catalyst, who is a Minneapolis Twin Cities hip-hop group. They released a song recently called Higher Place, which features Omie the Homie. That's O-M-I-E, the H-O-M-I-E. And once again, they're from Minneapolis. And they have an EP out on Bandcamp called Agape, I think that's what it is. Agape. A-G-A-P-E. And it's a 6-song EP. It was released on February 14th of this year. So I think I like it a lot. I catch a lot of like influences from a lot of the other Twin Cities hip hop groups like Doomtree and Atmosphere and their vibe. So it's some cool jams. I like it a lot. And I think it definitely sets. I think Catalyst definitely set themselves apart and have a lot of individuality in their songs. So why don't we take a listen here to their song called Hold On, featuring Omie the Homie from Catalyst.
Here we go.
Yeah. Catalyst. Check it. Yo, the light won't flee when there's life in me. Real righteous right term, and I might just be an author, scripting tales from the sights I've seen. No matter place, color, creed, don't change the color that we bleed. You see, I grew up properly, where cops don't knock on properties. The block that brought monopolies, across the street was poverty. The frosted when it's hard to breathe, for anybody and for every disease. There is a need for antibodies, stand up proudly. Every city and county, people that garner into the community surrounded. Our societies in dire need of grounding. You fear the crowding while we gain the recognition and the reputation for the greatest sake of broken nation building. Not a corporation, but more of a cultivated force, a catalyst to generations raining down our ways before. It's cyanide on the track, throwing on me, and only bones will be showing after that.
Catalyst came and threw me on the track like trains, next to the bones and remains of every rapper they slain. The result of the dog eat dog, you barking up the wrong tree. 2 pairs of eyes couldn't even help you foresee what's coming in the near future. Death to the dollar, rise of the computers, fucking with your life's how Karma Sutra. Positions like Karma Sutra, I'm the dominant, dominion and power, you're powerless to my conglomerate. I am hip-hop's Kabbalah, come and gain some wisdom. Victim turned victor, only time I bought is shamanism. Understanding I'm ahead a couple lifetimes. Made $1 million without using any of my lifelines. Compare my grind to Tony Hawk back in his prime, back when thoughts were considered dimes. I'm a saint with a sinner's mind. God gave me rhymes instead of wings to fly. Meditate through torment just to find a peace of mind.
Don't hold me down, no, not this way. The sun is shining, but not today. I keep my mind in a higher place. The only place I know. I'll pick up the mic and look you dead in the eyes. Stepping in nights for a night and stride right across enemy lines and try to make a connection, even if we never had it. Regardless of your sex, religion, race, or demographic, fake but action all makes the last call. Whether you're acting wrong or not, backing off, cause all of your friends have been suffering back withdrawals. You're cutting down to get higher, tired of vampires. We're cutting down to get higher, tired from hellfires. I vent wide for the east and the west side, of support for the north and south from the mouth of a peace fighter. But please fight, cause it white, see white way when we will have gotten away with generations of enslaving, downgrading. You're downright crazy if you think I'm down for that. Bet you're down to pat him down if he's brown and still call him black. Keep falling back on hate, I bet it's coming back around. Come back 10 years from now, I guarantee that we ain't backing down. Don't hold me down, no, not this way. The sun is shining, but not today. I keep my mind in a higher place, the only place I know. Don't hold me down, no, not this way. The sun is shining, but not today. I keep my mind in a higher place, the only place I know. Place that I know.
Alright, well, once again, that was Catalyst with Higher Place featuring Omie the Homie. They are a Minneapolis Twin Cities hip-hop group. Let's see. I don't know. Why don't you start off this round?
Okay, yeah. I liked it. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the production overall. The mix was a really good mix.
Mm-hmm.
Everything felt like it came from the same place.
Yep.
Everything just flowed really nice.
Yeah.
It the lyric writing was great.
I thought those were really impactful.
There was
they hit you a lot.
It was like a second verse kind of thing going on. That there was like these little clever lines comparing his grind to Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
It's like brought me back to my childhood. It was almost emotional.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Definitely. Yeah, I caught one of the lyrics here that I wrote down. Meditate through torment just to find a peace of mind.
Yeah.
That was like that. I think that lyric out of pretty much any of them took me the most.
That's an intense lyric too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really impactful lyrics all around the board, and I think both of those guys were just flowing all the way through. I mean, I like a lot. I like the way that they used a lot of rhymes in their lyrics, I guess, throughout the entire song. Like the onomatopoeia in there.
Yeah. Yep.
They have a lot of that going on. Yeah, production-wise, I like the underlying vinyl pops.
That was cool. I really liked that too, especially in the intro.
Yeah, it made a really cool lo-fi sound to it.
But if you listen, you didn't hear the vocals have that.
Yeah.
The vocals were on top of that, which was really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was nice. A really cool choice. Let's see. And along with that, with the backing beat, the bass guitar was that was sick.
That it filled out that entire space it was supposed to fill out.
Boom, boom. Yeah. I'm done with that. But yeah, I mean, bass guitar just made an awesome little backbone to the whole beat overall that was behind that vocal part. And I think that there was that one little section where they kind of sing a little bit, and they "Don't Hold Me Down" part, "Don't hold me down." I like how they double track the vocals on that.
They almost triple or quad tracked it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think it filled up the space really nicely during that part, because I think if it was just one little track, it kind of would be okay.
There's a dude singing, hey.
Yeah, but it filled some space really nicely. I like how they did that.
Yeah. The other vocals that were there, the oohs that were there.
Yeah.
However they found that, if they made it or if they sampled it, it was cool.
That was really cool.
Tasty.
I like that a lot too. Yeah. All right. Anything else you wanted to add at all?
More of that ambient, clean guitar tone was cool.
Yeah, that was
Same
really
as in
nice.
That pop tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Overall, a really awesome song from Catalyst. I'd love to go back and hear some more of their stuff. That
sure.
I guess just listening to that whole EP would be really cool. I only heard 2 of them, just the ones that one of the members of the group sent me. But I mean, if I would very much not be opposed to going back and just listening through the entire EP. I think that just based off of this sound alone, I think that it would be a really cool thing to listen to.
For sure.
We're going to move right into our 5th song here, because like I said, we have a game that we're going to be playing right when we get back after this very last song. But we're going to be hearing from Sergeant J. That's SERGEANT space J, Jay. Or he's a music producer hailing from Mexico City.
Okay.
Yeah, he recently put out an album called Lotus. I would kind of describe his genre as kind of like a down-tempo, trip hop sound, very very jazz influenced, and there's a lot of cool. I can catch a lot of different nuances from different genres in this piece specifically, but just the album overall. I mean, if you guys enjoy this song, go and listen to the full album, because it's just more of this. Really, really cool sound from him. This song is called Blue Sky, and once again, that's from Sergeant J from the album Lotus. So why don't we take a listen in?
Why don't we?
All right. Once again, that was Sergeant J with his song Blue Sky off of his Lotus album. And once again, he's a music producer, kind of a trip-hop sound from Mexico City. I really like the sound of that song. It got a little bit repetitive, but
it did,
I
a
think,
little bit.
yeah.
But it was really easy to get lost in it, though.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So it was repetitive, which if you're listening to it as like a main source of entertainment might not be a good thing.
Exactly, yeah. That I marked down here that I think that the perfect like scenario to listen to this song would be like either just falling asleep or you like just get home from like a long day at work and you just want to relax.
And it's just
you
kind of it'll calm you down.
Exactly.
It'll put you in a good mood.
Yep.
Everything about it felt really soothing.
Yeah, and I love how musical the song was throughout the entire piece, even though like the piano hit seemed really like non-diatonic and really random, like kind of like, you know, just they didn't sound like set chords or anything like that. They just kind of sounded like he was hitting the piano.
Yeah,
but
and there was a couple notes in the piano track there that you could hear like a hit two keys at the same time right next to each other.
Yep.
And that was really cool. It made it feel really natural.
It did. Yeah, definitely. And I'm assuming it was a sampled piano track and like kind of just like made, you know, little clips of it on repeat or something like that. But I mean, I think that it worked out really nicely. Once again, with the vinyl pops in the background.
Yeah.
This is like a new thing.
You know what I noticed about those? They were on a 2-bar loop. Yep.
Oh, really?
That was, you could hear the like of the vinyl like in the scratch of the Yep, every 2 bars you could hear it. And it was like it was buried when it wasn't apparent in the mix, but it was still felt.
Yeah.
And it's like that's cool. It's like just being able to pick out that kind of stuff. I find that really neat.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to go back and re-listen to that and just try to see if I can catch that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's an interesting point. Let's see. I also noticed that on the little snare sample that he had on there was like a reverb time on there that it sounded synced up to the beat of the song.
Okay.
But I think that the only thing about that, I like the sound of the reverb itself. The only thing that I would have changed though is that it had like a very, like this, it had a very artificial sounding like fade out to the reverb time. It sounded like just very like reverb cut. You know, it just sounded very like out. I wish it could have had a little bit more of like a room and depth to it. But you know, I guess it could have also just been artistic choice.
And that's what makes music good.
Exactly.
Is that we're able to make our own choices, and these little differences is what keeps music fun.
Exactly. I will provide his links along with everyone else's right at the very end of our show here. But first, before we do that, we're gonna play our game. To some of you guys who are regular listeners, as you may know, The winners of our game get a unmarked cassette. It could be complete. I have a bag over in the corner of the room with cassettes that none of them have names on the outside of them, so you can't see what they are.
Okay.
And they could they're all, as far as I know, they're all like bootleg, like home recorded things. As far as I know, I honestly have no idea. But it could literally be anything from a bootleg of the Tom and Jerry theme song to a bootleg of the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack.
So this could be pretty intense, Jimmy.
Yeah, this could. It could get really crazy really fast. But,
I'm excited for my chance.
Yeah, man. But this week we're going to play a little bit of a different game. It's a new one, and we've never played it on the show before. It could potentially be a very easy song. I didn't really think it out ahead of time. But this week what we're going to do is we have all of the 5 songs that we played during this episode, and I'm going to play tiny, tiny little segments of each song. And you're going to hear like maybe 1 second or less of each little section that I play. And it could be any of those 5 songs, and you have to guess what song you're hearing.
Sure.
It could be a little bit difficult because I know those past 2 songs have that little vinyl crackle in the middle.
It could be.
So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many. But you have 10 chances, and if you get 6 or more correct, you definitely get a cassette. So, all right, here's our first one.
Okay. This is tough for me. Wow. That's tough. I want to guess that was by Adam Ben Ezra.
That is correct. Openland by Adam Ben Ezra.
That was tough.
Great job at number 1. All right. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Second one.
Was that that was the tune by Catalyst, right?
That is correct.
Featuring Omie the Homie.
Higher Place. Good job. That's 2 for 2.
This is actually really tough.
Yeah?
Yeah. The first one was really tough. This one was still pretty tough, but it's not all hip hop, so that was almost identifiable that way.
All right, here we go. Number 3.
That one was Just Try.
Correct. 3 for 3. Number 4.
Was that also Adam Ben Ezra?
Again, yep, Openland.
Oh, yeah.
4 for 4. See, I knew this was going to be too easy.
Maybe
right.
I'm just really good, Jimmy.
That's true. It's whatever. All right.
Play it as short as you can.
All right.
That was really short, Jimmy.
Yep.
Holy buckets. Was that Waste?
That was Waste by Aurora L'Orealis.
Yeah.
That's already 5 correct.
Man.
You only need 1 more.
One more. I heard piano. That one's really tough. I heard piano and a little bit of cymbal in there. Oh, that's tough. It's either Openland or Blue Sky. I'm gonna go with Blue Sky.
That's correct.
Oh.
Number 6, you got it right, which means you get a cassette. So why don't you walk on over there, take your pick.
All right, Jimmy, I grabbed my cassette.
All right, what'd you get, man?
I got the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Ooh. And what's the other side? Does it say?
No, it doesn't.
Could be just more Mighty Mighty Boss Tones then.
It could be.
Or we'll never know.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know, Jimmy.
Please do.
At the very least, you will know.
Okay.
And I will know. We will know.
Do you own a cassette player?
You know I do.
Okay. Well, you are actually, I think, I don't know if you're the first of our guests to actually own a cassette player. But most of the other guests that I have come on and they win a cassette, they're like, okay, well, this is an excuse to go out and buy a cassette player.
Yeah. Nope. Our stereo at home has 60 disc slots.
Oh, wow.
And 2 cassette slots.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But at least it has those cassette slots.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bonus. That's awesome. All right. Well, it's about that time, you guys. It's the end of the show. We've heard all our tunes. We've played all our games. We've had all the fun we can have.
This is all the fun.
Yep. This is all the fun you're getting this week.
Mhm.
So, sorry.
Not sorry.
We're gonna go over all the songs once again, and I'm going to name off all the places you can go and listen to their music, download it, buy it, whatever you may want to do. First up, we heard from Adam Ben Ezra. You go check out his music at adambenezra.bandcamp.com, facebook.com/adambenezra, and soundcloud.com/adambenezra.
At least it's consistent.
Exactly. Yeah, and you spell his name ADAMBENEZRA, just as it sounds. Adam Ben Ezra. Second up, we heard from Giselle and Mike Martinez and their song Just Try, which was released as a single. Go check it out on iTunes. You can go and just search up Just Try Giselle and Giselle and Mike Martinez, and I'm sure it'll be up there. Otherwise, go and check out Giselle's Facebook page. Sorry, it's going to be one of those generic Facebook pages with a giant number at the end, but I want to read it out anyways, just so that we can get everybody there.
Just because you want to, we can let it get read out.
All right, here we go. Facebook.com/pages/Giselle, GISELLE/122421617777218. And you can go check out Mike Martinez, who is also the other artist on this track, at facebook.com/Mike Martinez Music. Third up, we heard from Aurora L'Orealis.
Oh, that's such a great name.
The Chicago band. Go and check out their music at auroralorealis.bandcamp.com, facebook.com/Aurora L'Orealis, and soundcloud.com/Aurora L'Orealis.
I'm sure they didn't have any issues getting that band name.
Exactly. No, I don't think so.
That's creative.
Yeah, exactly. Go and spell their name AURORALOREALIS.
Is the apostrophe in the links?
No, it's not in the links.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that would just be how you spell their name if you're looking them up on Bandcamp or something like that.
Cool.
But all the links are just straight Aurora L'Orealis.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, we heard from Catalyst, the Minneapolis-based hip-hop group. Go check out their music at catalystmpls.bandcamp.com. Spell their name CATALYST. You can also go check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/catalystminneapolis and soundcloud.com/catalystmpls. And finally, we heard the song from Sergeant J, and the song is called Blue Sky off of their Lotus album, off of his Lotus album, which was recently released. Go and check out all of his music at sergeantj.bandcamp.com, facebook.com/sergeantj, and soundcloud.com/JOTADE. And spell Sergeant J SERGEANT space JAY. Sergeant J. And Nathan, where can people go as far as links to go and check out some work that you've done in the past? Or any Facebook pages or anything like that?
Yeah, any way you want to get a hold of me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. It's just Nathan Lundstrom Music after all those sites. Check out Lauren, the album that I did with her. Facebook.com/Lauren Becker Music. Or you can go to her website. I think it's laurenbeckermusic.bigcartel.com.
Nice, okay.
It's a pretty common site that a lot of people are using to sell stuff. Or she's on iTunes. Hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. I'm pretty active in social media.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, and finally, please go and check out my stuff. Please be sure to support my podcast. It's still up and going. We've been around for 8 weeks, but, we're still growing and we're still developing, and your support is what keeps us coming back every single week. You can go check out all of our stuff at our SoundCloud page at soundcloud.com/theweeklywaltz, where you'll find either 2 or 3-ish of our most recent episodes, depending on the times of the episodes. But yeah, that's where you can find those. Otherwise, if you want to go to all of our past episodes, go and subscribe to us on iTunes. It'll be iTunes. Just search The Weekly Waltz. You'll find it. Otherwise, if you want a link, it'll be bit.ly. It'll be a little bit.ly link. bit.ly/TWW-iTunes. So go and check that out, please, if you want to be subscribed to every single episode that we have out. Otherwise, if you don't want to do either of those and you want a copy of MP3s of each episode sent directly to your inbox, email me and opt into our mailing list, where you can also receive updates for whatever may be going on.
Maybe Jimmy's gonna take a vacation to Hawaii.
Who knows?
You'll find out about that.
You'll find out. Subscribe to our mailing list. And go on to our social network pages at twitter.com/theweeklywaltz and facebook.com/theweeklywaltz. Go and give me a like. And on our Facebook page, actually, there's a little tiny donate tab at the top. If you have some extra change lying around, I have to pay to keep this podcast up and running each month. Just a tiny little amount, so it's nothing big. If you don't, if you don't have the money to do it, that's fine. But if you have anything laying around, anything helps.
For sure, especially if you enjoy it. We'd love to keep it going for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, be sure to subscribe on iTunes, and as always, support local music. Nathan, thank you for coming on the show.
Jimmy, thanks for having me.
All right, for sure. You like the tunes?
I did. There was some great
Which
music
one was
today.
your favorite, would you say?
That was tough. I really like pop music, so I like Just Try.
Okay.
But Blue Sky kind of got to me.
I think so, yeah.
It kind of reached a
think
little
so?
deeper than pop music can.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'd say my favorite would probably have to be the Aurora L'Orealis one, Waste.
That's totally your style. I can see that.
I think that would have to be my personal favorite. But yeah, once again, thank you very much. Support local music, guys. Have a fan-tiddly-astic week.